when I named my business, I named it Morton Metalworks. I put my name with it. You know, I take pride in who I am and where I'm from, and I want people to know my name's attached with whatever it is. I want them to know that they're getting my absolute best every time. My name's Matt Morton, and I'm from Plainview up in the Panhandle between Lubbock and Amarillo. Grew up there, graduated high school there. Went to A&M, graduated class of '06, and then went on to seminary at Hardin-Simmons and graduated in 2013 from that, and made our way here. I never really felt like being in a church full-time, you know, every day, all day, being behind a desk and full-time duties there. So went the bivocational route, and my day job's being a welder, and then on the weekends I'm a preacher. In seminary in Abilene, I worked for tank and vessel builders. Daryl Harris was my boss and the guy that ran everything, and he gave me an opportunity in seminary to come in part-time and just help take care of things. At the time I could weld, not like I can now. I knew how to stick metal together back then, and he gave me an opportunity to come in and work in between class, and he was gracious to work with my schedule. Towards the end of my time there, I just really wanted the chance to be self-employed. I told my dad, I said, I don't want to get old and go, what if? And I said, I'm confident in my abilities, I'm confident in my passion, and so I talked with Daryl. He let me work here 6 months, part-time here, part-time there, and in January after those 6 months, I gave him my 2 weeks, and I said, I'm going to try it and see what happens, and I've been here ever since. We've been in De Leon now since 2014. We see a lot of stuff out of the farming and ranching sector. I mean, De Leon is, if it's anything, it's a farming and ranching community. And so a lot of what we see is working with farmers and ranchers, repairing things that are broken. We do a good bit of fabrication as well. We've been blessed to get into not just structural repair work or something like that, but now more the art and the creativeness of building entryways. And in the last handful of years, I've begun to take on smaller construction projects. So small barns, carports, entryways, things like that. One of the dreams I had early on was to grow this so that I was a one-stop shop for people, that they didn't have to go anywhere else if they didn't want to. When they see my logo, I want them to know, if I've worked on it, a quality job has been done. A quality repair, quality construction, quality fabrication, whatever, and they know we're going to be there. I've been to football games my whole life. Midnight yells, all the Aggie things, bonfire. Got to experience all of that growing up. The only school I applied to was A&M. It was the only school I wanted to go to, and I remember I can't remember how many people I told. I told them if A&M didn't let me in, I was going to join the Navy, and A&M did. They accepted me, and I said I'm joining the Corps. And so we did spend the night with the Corps and all of the things that you do, and so we filled out the paperwork. I said K2 was my choice. It wasn't the outfit that I spent the night with. I spent the night with P2, but I said I want to be in K2. Freshman year, incredibly hard. I mean, it's hard for everybody because it's just absolute culture shock. And you come into this environment where everybody's yelling at you and mad at you, and you can't learn fast enough, you can't adapt fast enough. It doesn't matter how right you do it, they're going to find something wrong. And it just a very big culture shock. And I can remember towards the end of my fall semester just wanting to quit. I was done. And I remember being home for Christmas break, and I remember it was the night before I was leaving to come back, and it was just this sinking feeling like, oh crap, I got to go back, But you got back, and things weren't easier, but things were different. One of the things my parents had drilled into me was you finish things you start. And that was really the first time on my own, without anybody else's input, where I had the option and people would have supported me either way. if I'd have quit. I chose to stick it out. The biggest thing that Corps taught me in all of this was you can do so much more than you think you can. You can achieve so much more than your mind says you can if you're willing to go that put in that extra effort, go that extra mile.